After striking gold with the TicWatch Pro 3, Mobvoi's Earbuds Gesture wireless Bluetooth headphones have arrived after a successful Indiegogo campaign, complete with some interesting hands-free head gesture controls. But are they any good? Well, let's find out. Thanks for watching 9to5 Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe, and then tap the bell icon to be among the first to watch our upcoming videos. In terms of aesthetics, each actual earbud is exactly the same as the original TicPods 3 in terms of size, shape and overall design. This is simply a recycled shell that has some slightly updated internals for early 2021. Is that a bad thing? Well, I'm not so sure really, as for many people out there the original style probably suits them just fine, and well, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. Mobvoi though has improved the thin plastic mesh underneath each earbud tip though. This portion is recessed, or more recessed, meaning that gunk shouldn't build up quite as much as on the original model. Mobvoi has stuck with an elongated pill sarcophagus for the Earbuds Gesture, it too being the exact same as the original TicPods, and while I like the etched or ribbed style top plastic level, it's likely a much bigger case than many other options out there at this point in time. The USB-C charge port to the right side is one that I applaud, as it means opening the case while charging is not hindered by an attached cable. There is no lanyard attachment section though this time round, which is probably for the best, as it's a feature I'm sure not many of you will have used. Opening the case, there is a nice rubberized internal lid that A, keeps the earbuds safe from scuffs and scratches, and B, manages to add some stability when you've taken them out of your ears and placed in for charging or safekeeping. There is a tiny rattle when shaking the case, but even though the lid does feel a little flimsy or light, it actually won't budge. This was a concern for me at first, but that ridge design also should withstand far more damage than many glossy earbud case lids. The case as well is in no way water resistant, but each earbud has an IPX5 water and dust resistance rating. Essentially it means that you're safe to use these earbuds in the rain or the gym, as they are rain and sweat proof. They also should survive a brief water spillage. Okay, when I first tried the original TicPods, I liked the inclusion of a silicone tip for secure ear fit. The return of this style means that when secured with an earbud tip suited to your ear, it should be more stable. Naturally, the added stem really helps aid that, but is noticeable when dangling down. I personally stuck with the original silicone tips that come pre-applied to the Mobvoi Earbuds Gesture and found the isolation pretty good overall. A little bit of excess head movement does make them move when seated, but general moving around like walking or even some light jogging won't dislodge the earbuds from your ears without vigorously swinging your head around. This is kind of important when the main selling point of the Mobvoi Earbuds Gesture is the hands-free call controls that have you shaking or nodding your head to reject or accept a call respectively. I can't speak for everyone simply due to all of our various ear shape differences, but I think these earbuds are generic enough to be a good fit for most people out there. At just 5 grams per earbud, you likely won't notice that they're in there for long periods. That said, I would often remove each earbud after a little while. Wearing earbuds all day does get quite tiring. One of the most disappointing aspects of the Mobvoi Earbuds Gesture though is the inclusion of some pretty small 6mm drivers. Audiophiles should be looking elsewhere if you want the best audio experience and codecs, as the Mobvoi Earbuds Gesture only support SBC and AAC codecs. While that initially might sound scathing, the actual audio experience on these earbuds is not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I'd say given the pricing and those smaller drivers, the sound is pretty darn good. Yes, of course, track separation isn't particularly great, but I like the fact that the bass is not overwhelming. The soundstage is far more open than I thought it would be. Tracks like Tame Impala's Let It Happen have enough breathing room and reasonably solid instrumental separation without the thick drum beat drowning out the intricacies of other sections. If you are hoping for that thick, deep bass, then you simply just won't get it here. Seminal dubstep track Midnight Request Line is always a benchmark of this, with the crisp bass line being punctuated by snaps, cracks and hi-hats. Unfortunately, the Earbuds Gesture simply can't hold the bass line to any great level, making the track feel a little inhibited and closed. That is likely a little harsh on a pair of earbuds that are a jack of all trades and a master of none, but I highly doubt the general listener would even care, and rightly so. One big bonus though is that thanks to the earbud tip seal and isolation, even without ANC, you can drown out quite a lot of background noise from moderate volume levels. Get above 45 to 50% volume and everything is drowned out to a large degree, including things like keyboard taps, barks and major traffic noise. One major downside though you may notice is a very low audible static when first connecting to your earbuds. This sounds like TV static at a very low volume, but it will instantly disappear when you begin playing audio or video. There is no visible delay either when playing YouTube videos, nor when streaming video games using services like Google Stadia or GeForce Now. Call quality is pretty solid across the board. The microphone is good at blocking out some noise with that dual cancellation mode, but I think the biggest bonus is actually the positioning of the microphone closer to your mouth. I could hear the few people I called using the earbuds clearly without needing to max the volume either. Of course, the core selling point that Mobvoi has doubled down on is those AI gestures with these earbuds. In reality, I'm not sure where the AI is being introduced, but you can nod and shake your head to accept and reject calls. It's a big gimmick, but it has worked for me 100% of the times I have tested it. Now that is something that not many other weird and wonderful hands-free gestures can claim, solely being a prime example on the Pixel 4. The controls are pretty standard as well, but the lack of a volume control, swipe or tap was one control method that I really missed. But each tap gesture is fairly accurate, and the activation area on each earbud is pretty good overall, but the dedicated Mobvoi app is simply a waste of time. The only real purpose of this standalone app is to disable the head nodding feature or act as a quick reference page for the earbuds gesture tap controls. And it would have been nice to see an equalizer, but maybe we'll get that in a future app update. Mobvoi has rated the battery on these earbuds at 50 hours, and it's a big bold claim that actually isn't too far off that headline figure. Each earbud is rated for around 9 hours on a single charge. I've only though managed to get close to 9 hours once when listening to podcasts at around 55 to 60% volume for a full working day. I did have a low battery warning just as that 8-hour mark was passed, which I still think is very impressive. Each earbud as well can take a further 3.5 full charges from the 600 mAh carry case, which gives you around 35 to 40 hours of listening, or at least that's how it panned out in my own testing. That really isn't a bad lifespan, but you might be able to push it further with different listening habits. It takes just over 2 hours with the included USB-C charge cable to get the case and buds back up to 100% from empty to, which I think is a little bit slow, all things considered, and compared to the rest of the market. So in essence, the Mobvoi Earbuds Gesture are a reasonably solid pair of Bluetooth earbuds with a little bit of a gimmick that, although it does work well, doesn't mean you should pick them over an alternative pair. The battery bragging of 50 hours doesn't quite live up to Mobvoi's claims in real world conditions, but the lifespan is highly commendable and among the best of any earbuds we've tested, at least for a long time. A direct competitor would likely be the OnePlus Buds Z, which I personally find more comfortable and I think have a marginally better overall sound quality. That said, the Earbuds Gesture are a decent buy if you want some long-lasting Bluetooth earbuds that are fairly lightweight, comfortable, and sound fairly solid all things considered. But with that said, I'd love to know what your own go-to Bluetooth earbuds are, or are you still attached to wired audio? Let me know down in the comments section below, but until next time, this is Damien with 9to5Google saying thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.